love when the good news coming in on a day-to-day. Already know what's happening, I don't gotta shake the hay. Big moves, big stepper in the right direction. The trip continues, every W's a psychedelic. Journey over accolades, divvy up the accolades and tell them boys to have a day. Give and take, and I love to give. Give and take, and I love to see the bros hitting milestones. Gon' get your shine on, brighter than an iPhone. Screen anybody tryna take a piece of pie home. Try a song, shape a stick or drop them like a pine cone. Conversations about the goals and the gold that I'm sitting on. All I hear is low ballin' digits if I listen to them. No need to counter if it's disrespect. Swam with sharks on how to bite my way out fishing nets.
What's going on, family? Welcome in. How y'all doing this after evening? How y'all doing tonight? Well, today for y'all. K Renee's Garden. What's going on, my sister? Welcome in. Chocolate drop. Ain't nobody but that chocolate drop. Chocolate drop. I was lurking the other day. I was in the bushes. You know I left a thumbs up. I seen you, girl, out there bending corners. As always, you always driving somewhere. You the most driving this thing. I swear for Lord. My goodness. Damn, Chocolate Drop always moving and shaking. If y'all ain't connected with Chocolate Drop, make sure y'all connect with that sister. Great supporter. Always sliding through. She also over there on that TikTok machine. Yes. Yes, she is. Let's see who else off in here. Miss Cheryl Faulkner. How you doing, young lady? You better get in here and enjoy yourself. I hope that storm didn't whoop up too bad on y'all day before yesterday. Or yesterday was it? Yeah. Thank you for being here, young lady. Bud Files, what's going on, family? You know what, Bud Files? I went back and rewatched because I thought it was The Rock, and then I thought y'all were talking about the post, and then when y'all pulled it out from up under the post, I was, okay, I get it. I got you. Okay. So, yeah, that makes sense. Y'all make sure y'all check out Bud Files, too. They over there on that TikTok machine as well. Yeah, sometimes I gotta rewatch Bud File stuff. Be like, where y'all at and what where is it? But who else we got off in here? Miss Deborah Garrett, how you doing, young lady? You better get in here and enjoy yourself too, Miss Deborah. Can't stop walking. How you doing this morning? I got to catch a little bit of you this morning. Yes, sir. Said, I'm fat, but you can't be. I seen you out there, sir. I don't always have time to engage. I just try to get through and listen to as many people as I can while I'm engaged in other endeavors. You feel me? Let's see here. Who else out there? Thank you for being here, my brother. Can't stop walking. J3GS Farm. What's going on, young man? Get off me. Oh, get over here. Okay. There we go. See who else we got off in here. Yeah, y'all sliding off in here real nice. Welcome in, everybody. Thank y'all for being here. Everybody in the chat, everybody in the bushes. Thank y'all for being here as well. We're going to have a little conversation tonight, family. Welcome in, Butter Roll Boutique. How you doing, young lady? I hope I don't think I missed nobody. Y'all, as per usual, if you got time and if you don't mind, go and share this link out and at African Dreaming when you do it. Yes. Tonight we just gonna, y'all, I'm seeing something out here, family. I done talked about it before, but doggone it, I got a platform. I'm gonna talk about it again. I'm gonna make mention of it again, and this probably won't be the last time I talk about it. Tim, ATM Tim, what good, bro? How you doing? Welcome in. I already know Tim gonna set it off with that hashtag BCIAC. Yeah. Because as most conversations are, tonight's conversation gonna be applicable to both men and women's. Yes, sir. Men and women's. Everybody can hopefully leave this conversation with something else. E Money, what's good, bro? You better get in here and enjoy yourself. Welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, while I'm welcoming folk, hold on, man. I ain't even turned my camera on and said hello proper. Like, how y'all folk doing this after evening? Welcome in. Y'all better get in here and enjoy yourself. Each and every one of you. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all check out my man E Money. Make sure you check out Tim. Matter of fact, all y'all just get connectificational ties with one another. Yeah. I mean, hit that like button and share your boy out first, and then come back and then do your sharing and whatnot. But I'm grateful either way. I ain't tripping. Yeah. I hope y'all can hear me properly. Let me make sure. Let me check my. Okay, that might be a little better here. Thank you, Chocolate Drop. I appreciate you, young lady. Miss Queen T is in the building. Another one of my people who is not only here on the YouTube machine, they also over there on the TikTok machine. Yes. Mm-hmm. And Miss Queen, thank you for being not only in the building, but thank you for being a member. Shout out to all my members. Yeah. Let's go and set this vibe real quick. Oh, my man in here. What's up, Dan H? Hey, if y'all didn't catch Dan H, over on Vision Preparedness, late last night for me, but yesterday evening for y'all. Y'all make sure y'all catch not only my brother Vision Preparedness, but check out Dan H. Great guy. Always a support, always in the chat, giving me grief. We go back and forth. It's good fun. And as you can see, he telling me to check my hearing aids. But Dan got some good information, man. He made it to the event that Vision Preparedness had over there in Ohio. And if you want to get yourself prepared, as Torrid Brain would say, uh, go check out that interview. Where do you start? What do you do? What do you know? You might want to start with you a nice machete or a nice knife.
You might want to start with some 100-mile-an-hour cord and and a tarp or two. You know, you got to start somewhere. So what's up, young Riaz? What's going on, fam? Welcome in, welcome in. Miss Cheryl Faulkner still in here. E-Money still with us. Hope I ain't miss nobody. Eardrums turn to stone. Boy, you something else, Dan. But thank you for being here, bro. I appreciate you. Don't hurt the harvest. What's going on, family? Welcome in, welcome in. Y'all get in here and enjoy yourself. So, hold on, let me go back to my girl. I'm gonna finish. But sometimes you just sometimes life will make you just wanna watch The Wiz and just get away from it all. You know, The Wiz is a long movie too. Long enough. Yeah. My sister Good Eats Homestead up in here. What's up, family? Fiona's Life. Welcome in, Fiona. Habari yako? Salama dada. Karibu sana. Karibu sana. Karibu sana. Karibu tena. All that. Every bit of it. You better get in here and enjoy yourself. Cassandra South Fulton Garden. How you doing, my sister? Welcome in, welcome in. So, let's go on and get into the conversation. So I ain't got to keep y'all too long tonight. It's been another, I guess what you could call uproar. A little bit of disturbing. And hey, Wellness with Frugal Mama, how you doing, young lady? Welcome in, welcome in. Welcome in. You better get in here and enjoy yourself. Now, some things get exaggerated, blown out of proportion, and they only kind of exist in these here virtual spaces, in these online spaces. Sometimes it's political commentary, sometimes it's social dynamics and different conjecture back and forth, right? But when I see something, which is why I've spoken on this matter before, is the same reason why I'm speaking on it again right now. There has been an addressing of what it means to have hair that look like this right here. And yet again, it's still a topic of discussion in social media spaces and mainstream spaces and corporate America and this job and that job and all of this here. And until the situation is better than it is currently, and as long as I got a platform to talk about it, guess what? Your boy probably gonna talk about it. It ain't gonna be a daily topic for me, but it is something that I won't not acknowledge, if that makes any sense. And I know how I feel about it, but I got a question I'm posing to y'all. With all the things going on in the world. Oh, by the way, thank you everybody who done slid off in here. Good Eats Homestead on to something. She done see this it right here. This it right here. Yeah, y'all make sure everybody come in. If you hadn't hit that like button, make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't shared it out, make sure you share it out. And when you get back, hit that hashtag BCIAC and drop your link in the chat. Please and thank you. Goody Homestead said, what's going on? My natural hair unacceptable? Hair. Hold on, let me get my thinker. It's my thinker right there, famous statue. But this is exactly what the topic of conversation is, at least at minimum, the most vitalist of parts that we're going to touch on and discuss over the course of this conversation right here. Outspoken Crystal Libra said, it's my natural hair, and if you don't like it, don't look. Hashtag exactly. For shizzle, as the young folks say. Miss V, make this go viral, LLC. Miss V, thank you for being here, and thank you for making that video, and thank you for taking yourself over to your local Sonic and picking you up one of them delicious extra long cheese cones. If y'all don't know, Miss V, Make This Go Viral, LLC has a month-long challenge that she'll probably continue, but got a month-long challenge where she is challenging herself and others to drop some content every day at the same time. And if you can't get it at the same time, at least drop some content every day for the whole month. Well, for 30 days. So if that's something you're interested in, slide on over there, check her out, see what she got going on. Now, the only problem I got with you, Miss V, because I'm grateful, I'm always happy to see anybody enjoy a nice extra long cheese cone. But see, what you had went and did was agree with my wife and say that it's just a hot dog. Miss V, let me holler at you real quick. An extra long cheese cone is something special. It's different. First off, a hot dog is like 6 to 8 inches. An extra long cheese cone, well, that's a whole foot worth of greatness right there. A whole foot worth of greatness. And I like the way you made yours too. Now, some people get theirs plain, which I don't understand, but whatever. I can understand plain with mustard, plain with relish and mustard. I prefer chili, cheese, some onions, little mayonnaise on this side, little mustard on that side, and then top that boy off with some jalapenos. That, ma'am, is an extra long cheese cone. A hot dog is just a hot dog. I mean, hell, Matlock ate hot dogs all the time. Extra long cheese cone is something different. But nonetheless, I thank you, Miss V, for making that video, shouting us out. So I appreciate you, young lady. Thank you. Yes. No, April wasn't right, but whatever. Oh, Miss V done came in here and got me all discombobulated. Let me get back to what I was talking. Krista said, you can't make everybody happy if they don't like how you dress. They don't like how you look. Your hair looks well, then go away. And and I'm glad you said that. What's up, my man Vision in here? I was just talking about you, young man. I was just mentioning your interview with Dan H last night and telling folk they need to slide on over there and check it out if they hadn't done so thus far. I'm ignoring you, Miss V. I see that comment. I will not acknowledge such foolery out for her. Can't Stop Walking still in here. Miss K Renee still in here too. Thank you. My beautiful pieces of April is in here. Thank you. I appreciate you. Motivation from the Weightlifting Geek. Bro, I was hanging on last night. I was kind of busy. I couldn't come up because I was trying to get some stuff done before I go over and chilled out in the bushes with Vision and Dan last night. And I wasn't going to get in there, but temptation got the best of me. So I had to jump in. Motivation from the Weightlifting Geek. Welcome in, little bro. And you come on, today is Wednesday, so this is your last night of the week. If y'all didn't catch this conversation last night, questioning. I ain't gonna get into the details. Y'all need to go over there, check out Motivation from the Weightlifting Geek live from last night, came on before Vision Preparedness, and I'm gonna agree with both of them. For one, it's not a sign of weakness, it's not a sign of getting old. But I will say this: when you get to a point in life, it could just be your thinking process. Start writing stuff down for the sake of remembering it. That was Joe part of it, and Vision was alluding to the fact that if something is serious enough for you to write down, that means you're taking it seriously because you don't want to forget it. I ain't even gonna get into vision boards and projecting what you want to bring into fruition and all of that. Y'all just go check that live out. And Dan. Come on, Dan. Dan, I'm finna overlook you about like Miss V talking about it tasted like a hot dog. No, it tasted like an extra long cheese cone. But I digress. Let me get back to the conversation at hand. So there's been a bit of a kerfuffle happening again on the internet streets over her again, and mostly how it's a lot. And if we're gonna talk about it, hell, let's talk about all of it. So you got a few different pieces, and we're gonna try to touch on all of them tonight. The link will be dropped at some point so that I can hear from other people's and get other people's perspective. Country and Yankee, welcome in. Thank you for being here. When people wear certain styles of certain hairstyles, let me say that. Do I think it's always under the pretenses of appropriation? No, I do not. I think that the person representing whatever style they're representing is the determining factor between whether that style is being misrepresented or portrayed in a negative or even a mocking manner or tone. I done seen white folk with locks before. And I done seen people with my hair texture with perfectly straight hair. Whether they permed it or whether they just hit a silk press, did a Brazilian or whatever. So it goes both ways. So I don't think it's necessarily always the worst possible scenario. But what I do think and what I do know is that it's deeper for people on the receiving end than I think most people realize or want to acknowledge. That's what I think. That's what I know. That's what life done taught me. Hold on, I'm seeing something because I think my sister made a... See, Fiona says something over here, and this is not unique to America. Is it? Do it hit a little harder in America than it does in other parts of the world? Absolutely. But Fiona is not kidding. And this is Africa. Now, Fiona, correct me with this. You jump up in there. But I think that's more specific to Zanzibar than it is to the mainland of Tanzania, if I'm not mistaken, because I've been watching that, and I did a little bit of research, and I think that's more specific to Zanzibar. But Zanzibar, TZ, I get what you're saying, sis. And that's for men having braids. And, you know, even though they one country, but it's complicated. But yeah, that's I'm glad you brought that up because I was just going to speak to that. Over here on mainland Tanzania, not Zanzibar, mainland TZ, you see dudes everywhere. I mean, everybody think I'm a Rasta. I'm not, man. I'm dude from Texas, but those one of the most supportive communities is my Rasta brothers and sisters. I mean, I'm talking about real Rasta, like real straight up, like for real Rastafarian. Huge community over here, and cool people, good people. before I start getting to some of this content. What's up, Nikki? How you doing, young lady? The everyday life of Ann, OCD is chick, who will most likely be on later tonight with Hands in the Dirt for Wind Down Wednesday, along with Bougie Prepper. Yes. Bayou Sugar Garden, how you doing? Boy, I've been seeing you a lot. You done tipped your way up on in this community real good here. I see you, family. Been trying to check you out as I can. That's what's up though. Yeah, it's good. You seem like good people. I'm still, I gotta watch folk, baby. I'm a watcher, and then cause I already like you, but I'm gonna watch it, and I'm gonna watch you some more. Dan H, come on, man. 300 years ago. I'm surprised you didn't say 3,000 years ago. Everybody speaking. What going on, family? Happy Mac done tipped up in here. Welcome in, welcome in. Yeah. Sheed, we in here. Boy, Sheed, you and Rooster and Broke Farmer had me, and not to mention Carol. Bruh, that was, if y'all didn't catch Miss T live earlier today, I wasn't in the chat. I was just listening as I could. But yeah, y'all gotta go. Carol, the girl miniature, she's a whole creation of her own, baby. You got to go check that out. Vision Preparedness said, what we talking about tonight? What we talking about is her. What we talking about primarily is hair that look like mine. I can't believe that some of the issues we dealing with are still issues that we dealing with. And if you wonder why would a dude care, why would a man care when it always seems to be centered around ethnic hair or black women's hair, this or that. What do y'all see my hair? Most of y'all been on this journey with me because I only been growing my hair for 2 years. I started in 2021. Baby, my wife do my hair and she could just barely grip it. I literally had like a little bitty fro. And when she first did my hair 2 years ago, it looked like some twist backs. That's how short it was. But this ain't the first time in my life that I've let my hair grow out. And what I do know is that with regards to employment, it wasn't even let me make it look good enough or look right. Back in them days, hell nah, you cut your hair so you can go get that job. The amount of times I got pulled over went up when my hair looked like this. Mistaken identity. I told y'all about one situation when I had long hair. Hell, they pulled over a whole damn Seattle bus. A city bus. They waited, watched me get on it, and said that I fit the description. I'm not bullshit. Said I fit the description. Y'all see how dark I am? Man, the dude that they were actually looking for, this cat had to be by 6'3". I ain't that damn tall. This dude was about 6'3" and high yellow. High yellow. I'm talking about, I ain't got no paper sack. I'm talking about paper sack yellow. We ain't look nothing alike. The only thing we had in common, mine was about almost as long as they is now. And he had he had twists. He didn't even have locks. He had twists. They pulled over the whole bus. That's why this conversation is applicable. Thank you, Miss Queen T. Is applicable to both men and women. Now I'm going to drop the link in a little bit like I normally do. But what I'm going to do before that, I'm going to play some content. Some of it is from recent years. And when I say recent, I'm talking about let's just go back to about the last 3 years up to now. Let's just start there. And I'm going to start with something recent out of the khaki lackeys. I'm going to drop this link before I even do that. Uh-oh. Yeah, there we go. Hold on. and bam, and I'm gonna put you right now, and I'm gonna come up here and put you right now, and bam. So the link is in the chat, right? Excuse me. What I'm gonna do, let's get into a little bit of this content so we can get into this whole conversation. Yeah, motivation. It's out the Kakalakis. Let's check it out. Let's get into it. Oh, before I do that, now y'all know I don't like to go too deep into the politics, not directly, because I don't want for one moment for anybody, whether you like me or don't like me, I don't want y'all to think for 1 second I'm aligning or dedicating myself to a political party. I'm still an American living abroad. I still have the right to vote. I still pay attention to politics. But I don't want to be associated with being a water carrier or identifying with either party. Damn it, I vote my interests. That's how I move. And I find it interesting that with a lot of the promises made, the current political party in power can't even make something like the Crown Act happen. I know you love me, Vision. I see that shit down there. I know you love me, boy. Young man, don't. I know you love me. But how can you promise me the world, but you can't even take me out to dinner? I'm gonna tell you how I see something like the Crown Act not being federal law at this point by the current administration. You telling me you gonna give me the world, but you can't even take me out to dinner, and you're trying to fill on me. That's how I feel about it. We're gonna talk about what the Crown Act is and all of that on the other side. Mr. Arthur Butler, how you doing, young man? You better get in here and enjoy yourself. Welcome in, Mr. Arthur Butler. Welcome in. Nikki, I see you said something. I'm gonna catch up on it on the other side, fam. Let's get it, y'all. Let's get it.
Alicia Barnes of Queen City News reporter Shakira Speaks spoke exclusively to the 16-year-old about her account of what happened that led to her quitting.
16-year-old Autumn Williams tells me she's still trying to understand how the brown hair color she had in her braids was deemed unnatural for her at her job at Chick-fil-A. She says she felt singled out and embarrassed. Autumn Williams had only been working at this Chick-fil-A in Harrisburg for 3 months before she was pulled aside for an apparent uniform violation. What she was told caught her off guard.
She was like, "Hey Autumn, one of our supervisors came by and said they noticed blonde in your hair, and he asks that you leave and come back when it's taken out since it's an unnatural color to you."
This is the color Williams says she had in at the time.
I don't know what blonde's in my hair.
I gotta stop right there, real quick. Hold on, man. Hold on, fam. Just real quick. Now, as a you know, I am. I've never been a licensed esthetician. I've never been a licensed cosmetologist, but I do hold a barber's license. And I'm not colorblind. I couldn't even consider that that would be the dirtiest of blonde. I don't know. To me, that's brown. To me. That's what I'm getting from it. If this is enough for you to be sent home from your job, this is why I'm having this conversation. This ain't the first conversation like this I've had. Y'all can go back and look up the video. So I'm done. I ain't just talking about the older black people in corporate America. I did that last time. All the serious, highfalutin, corporate jobs where, you done left Yale or MIT or whatever, and you want to walk in there with your box braids in. I done been down that road. Tonight I'm kind of sticking to the youth. I'm sticking with the young folk mostly. Let's get back into it, family. Let's get back into it.
hair because my braids were brown and there wasn't blonde in them, and my natural hair color is blonde. And in the handbook, and the guy, when I had orientation, he never said anything about my hair color or it being an issue.
And Williams claims other co-workers also had unnatural hair colors, but she was singled out. And when she asked her human resources supervisor for clarification about unnatural hair colors, he referred Williams to the employee handbook. But the handbook doesn't specify what unnatural colors are. She says the lack of clarification led her to quitting. Chick-fil-A responded to our request for comment, saying the operator reached out to Williams today and had a good conversation. In further detail, the operator explained that the policy was misinterpreted and said Williams was not terminated and she's more than welcome to come back and work at the restaurant.
I was glad that I didn't have to change myself to fit into someone else's image of what it's like to be a Chick-fil-A worker.
So North Carolina doesn't have the Crown Act law in place. However, the Crown Act doesn't protect against hair color. And since her decision to quit, Williams says she has filed a complaint with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. For now, reporting in Harrisburg, Shakira Speaks, Queen City News.
All right, let me pause that right there. And turn my camera back on. Lala, what's going on, my sister? Welcome in, young lady. You better get in here and enjoy yourself. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start at the bottom and work my way back up. Yeah, Happy Mac says she didn't even have a hot pink or blazing blue. It happens, and the reason I'm bringing this, if this is something that's not an issue for you personally or somebody that you know or love, then it's something you could give a damn less about. And I get that. You could care less about stuff like this. LP, what's going on, family? Welcome in. And I get it, because it don't concern you. It ain't affecting you. And something else I wanted to say, and this reminds me of it. With all the things going on in the world, why would African Dream or anybody else give a damn or be talking about this when you got all the things going on economically, wars and rumors of wars, inflation, and all this and all of that. And I'm gonna show y'all why it matters to me and why it always will matter to me. Damn it, possess the ability to multitask. I can be concerned and care about more than one thing at a damn time, as I'm sure most of y'all can. If it was your grandchild or your child or you yourself whose employment was up in the air because your hair looked like this, well, you might care. You just might care. Let's multitask, people. We can be worried about elections and voting. We can be worried about inflation. We can worry about this and still care about what's happening not only to us and those before us, but what's still happening in upcoming generations. It's 2023, and folks still dealing with stuff like this. And why is the Crown Act not passed in all 50? Why federally? I ain't gonna say all 50 states. Why not federally? As far as I know, and I'm open and willing to be educated, I think 14 states, 14 states. I have a wife who I've watched grow from her early career out of college to the professional world. Got to see her work as a supervisor, did management, middle manager, just I'll climb up to that. I'm saying this to the fellas now. Y'all, it's easy to go to the I ain't gonna say it's easy, because sometimes you be there all day. Cause I used to stay faded up, had them deep Caesar, baby, them deep waves. So I done spent time at the barbershop more than I care to myself. But for black women, when you gotta wake up and as if the outfit ain't enough, as if the shoes ain't enough, you got to worry about more than anything what your damn head look like. You got to worry about what your head look like and if it's appropriate and fitting. Your hairstyle is the determining factor between whether who gets. So what? You got your masters. You walk in there with your head looking the right wrong way, and you just Shaniqua, Bonquisha, Shalala, or whoever else, whatever other deemed ghetto names you could be presumed under, irrespective to your level of education, irrespective to your character as a person, irrespective to your work ethic. That's why we having this conversation, fam. That's why we having this conversation. Ain't nobody jumped in here yet. I'm gonna keep it pushing to get to a little bit more content. Mr. Arthur said, I know a lady, the same thing happened to her. The more things change, family, sometimes, not always, but sometimes, the more they stay the same. Odoms, what's going on, bro? What's going on? Let me see what my man said. Oh, Odom's up in here. Odom said it's hard to keep people on the job. Now, how are we going to keep people on the job if they're worried about hair? That's exactly. And man, and that's kind of what we were getting into conversation with. Shout out my man Eco Neighbor. Hashtag Team GG Naturals and Team Eco. And that's what my man Eco, we was kind of getting into that yesterday. And I'm gonna have another conversation about that as well. As hard as it is maintaining employment, because so many people feel that pay, hours, insurance, all of this is so unfair. Everybody trying to work for self. And it's a big transition going on right now, family. It is. That's a good point, Odom. Thank you for being here, brother. I appreciate you. Let's get to the next little bit of content. I'm gonna stop this right here, y'all. I put this in the middle. I placed this where I placed this because this is. Oh, by the way, family. Yeah. And I did this for another reason. What's up, PIA, Passionately Intrigued Arts? How you doing, young lady? You better get in here and enjoy yourself. Everybody coming in, man. If y'all ain't tapped that like button, if you ain't hit that share button, please do so. And make sure you drop your hashtag BCIAC. Please and thank you. Now, this young lady right here is a content creator. I'm not going to say her name because I ain't trying to give her no boost like that. And it's very obvious and blatant that it's antagonistic. I've seen white folk do it. I've seen Hispanic do it. Black folk do it. Asian and so on and so forth. Pacific Islander, everybody, every race of people. Somebody done got their ass on the internet and been willing to do anything for just a little pinch of shine. But I don't think sometimes people know and they just don't care. They just don't care what the cost is to other people or the triggering effect. And that ain't a word I use lightly because it seems like, damn, everybody triggered over something. But when you talking about a group of people who came out of chattel slavery, when we talk about the fact that my neighboring state to my home state, the great state of Texas, check it out. If y'all ain't know, now you know. As I sit over here in Africa, I'm still a Texan. Certain parts in southern states and northern states, so let's get it clear. But primarily Louisiana, after some of the purchases of land have been made, you got a deep Creole history. You got a deep German history. You got a this and that, but that's a conversation for another day. A whole lot of women couldn't walk around the South with their hair exposed because it was deemed unkempt. Because their hair was deemed as unruly. yes, there was a time in world history and U.S. history where folk with my complexion, where women with my complexion basically had to be wrapped up as though they were Muslim. Now, I'm trying to give, I gave y'all a warning. It's a little bit, it's just a little pinch of naughty language off in here. Excuse me. So if you got your children or your grandchildren, which might want to put your earbuds in and turn your Vision, I'm not fooling with you. I'm not fooling with you. I ain't gonna fool with you. Let's get it though. Let's listen to what this young lady has to say. And then I'm gonna talk about why so many people feel the way they feel, primarily black women, about what's happening right here.
Come on here and sincerely apologize to everyone who was offended by me having braids. I didn't think anyone would really care, but I've decided to cut them out because I think it's really disrespectful. Shut the fuck up! That's what y'all really wanted me to say, huh? That's how y'all want me to react to this shit. Look at him. Kiss my white fucking ass, bitch.
Now, family, I take that with a grain of salt. Because I done been offended so much in my life, that don't bother me at all. I promise I ain't going to lose now sleep. But could I be bothered having seen my wife deal with some of the things she's dealt with regards to her presentation in her professional career? And I usually don't get into online foolishness. When I see, it's always something going on. It's a beef here, a beef there. People do stuff to antagonize other people just to get people to come out, and so they can get more clicks and likes and maybe a sponsorship, or maybe hell, I don't know. But what I do know for sure is that I grew up in a time, in an era, in a culture where a whole bunch of my cousins and my aunties and a whole lot of these black women grew up with crispy ear tips. They grew up with little pink spots on their neck from where them curlers, from where that curling iron and hit their ass real good. And it wasn't just Easter. So when I see my sisters and people with a certain hair type take offense to and even call it appropriation, like I said earlier, it ain't always appropriation, but sometimes it is, because it's a mockery. And and it make me feel some type of way. Because when you afforded the luxury of jumping in and out of something that I have to live in for forever, you can never understand my position on it. And even though it may not be me myself, I seen what my wife and my sister and my mama and my aunties and my cousins done went through. And for this young lady to be so blatantly ignorant to a circumstance that affects so many people, all I can do is shake my head and pray for a better day. And the fact that in 2023, we still must have these types of conversations, it made me look at the bigger picture and wonder, well, where have we gotten? What have we accomplished? Goddamn day and age. Hold on. Man, I got my brother backstage. Let me bring him on up. And he can help me. Hold on. Let me drop this down. No, there we go. Hold on now. You get over here. And then there we go. And then he can help me go through some of these comments And maybe he can talk Dan H out of mistreating me the way he doing. Yeah. What's going on today, brother? How you doing, man?
Man, I was doing good till you played that last clip.
Oh, Vision. Before
Yeah.
you get into your thought, I just want to stop you real quick. Y'all, if y'all didn't catch Vision Preparedness live last night with the guy in the chat who mistreating me, y'all check out Vision Preparedness conversation interview with Dan H from last night. Please and thank you. I'm big, especially for people who are starting to think about what prepping is and where to start, how to do it. Please check out that interview. Go ahead, my brother.
You know, that chick was just flat out ignorant and foolishness. I'm gonna leave it at that, and I'm gonna be nice and not use any verbose words that I would use of choice because Anywho.
Yeah.
We've dealt with that as people since we've been in this country and looked upon by others that do not have the same type of melatonin that we have. Not everybody.
Mhm.
And I'm going to say that, I'm going to clarify it right now. Not everybody.
Right.
But that's our life. That's what we deal with. We've overcome, we keep it moving, and we keep going on.
Right. And you know what? While you're welcome in Motivation from the Weightlifting Geek. What's good, little bro?
What's going on?
What's going on, bro?
Welcome in. That last, not the one before that one, was actually out of Kakalaki. I don't know. Maybe you ate at that Chick-fil-A before. Well, that's in the other.
Probably have.
You have. Oh, right on.
Probably have. Probably have.
Welcome in, Mary B. Chilling with the realest Mary B. Now, after Motivation introduce himself, I want to get to what Butter Roll Boutique said because I sure got something to say about that. Go ahead, little bro.
Thank you so much for allowing me to be up here, big bro. What's going on, big bro? Vision Preparedness. Good to see you as always.
What's going on, bro?
And I'm gonna tell you something. I think life is difficult enough as it is, and I always go back to what they used to tell us in kindergarten. How come we all can't just get along? You know what I mean?
I know,
it's
right?
difficult.
If only it were this simple.
Yeah, and it's a shame that things are done the way that they are because just what you see is like the tip of the iceberg. And that's what you were mentioning earlier, Jay. Like there's so much that so many have gone through to be where they are now. And for that to just be completely disregarded, you know what I mean? That's sad.
You know, it makes me wonder. I think I'm starting. I don't know, man. Some certain things in this life seem real matrixy to me, and it makes me wonder if it'll ever go away completely because it seems like wash, rinse, repeat. Every generation seems to fight the same fights over and over and over, and then some progress is made, and then that progress retreats, and then it starts over and over and over. Kind of like the conversation we were having yesterday. I think Vision and with Tack and myself and Eco came up, and it's the battle seems to be never won. But Butter Roll Boutique said African Dream, and I jumped in and out of other activities, but I wanted to add to this conversation. Excuse me. When working in corporate, I wore locks for 7 years. My worst critics were my own people. I know exactly what she means.
Yep.
And I can give you some personal experience and things that I've witnessed from friends and relatives. So conditioning is conditioning. It impacts all of us. It haunts all of us sometimes. And I've even been guilty of it myself because when I talk to my younger relatives and cousins, y'all know I'm not a father, but when I talk, boy, you do what you got to do to get that job.
That's right.
Yeah.
You do. If you got to clean up, cut yourself up. But see, this is where it get tricky and get complicated because I'm teaching you a skill that you need to survive. But at the same time, I'm telling you why you need to surrender a part of who you actually are. And it's so embedded. It is such a part of overall society and culture that I enforced one half but left off the other half. And as I
Right.
got older, the conversation would kind of shift to, well, get where you need to be, and then you can do this and do that. But as you grow up, for men and women, as you grow up through the ranks, literally and figuratively, of corporate America, whatever your occupation is, if you want to go to the next level, the part I left off is that you find yourself surrendering more of your authentic self in order to obtain and maintain that level. So I've been on both sides of it. I don't have a rock solid answer to it, but I know that it ain't right to me that in the year 2023, you still got people dealing with issues like what they hair. And let me make a point of extreme emphasis right here. We're not talking about extravagant colors. I think Happy Mac or Mr. Arthur, somebody put it in the earth. We're not talking about fire hot pink. We're not talking about crystal blue or
Right.
anything in between. We talking about it being wrong and unacceptable for you to have certain positions and or occupations for the way that your hair grow out of your head. Now, the last thing I'm gonna say to what Butter Roll Boutique said, sometimes it's your own people, because it's like, girl, you embarrassing all of us. Why don't you tighten up? Why don't
Right.
you clean up? Why don't you make yourself better? And it's like, well, damn, all I got is locks. I'm keeping them. They're clean. They're styled. They look good. They whatever. But it just doesn't fit a certain narrative, and that's the part that we're gonna have to come to grips with. But go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
And it kind of ties in with what you were saying just a few moments ago about your nephews. Sometimes when we get to a certain spot, those that could have been in the same spot that we are in, that may be of the same melatonin that we are mad because they made those changes and we didn't, but we still got there. And
Right.
you end up with this crab in a barrel thing because
Right.
it's a little bit of a hatred within oneself because I conformed when I could have not, and you didn't, and you got somewhere. So it creates this envy, which is sad because we all make individual choices. If I choose to cut off all my hair like I did because I ain't got none, and I get somewhere, then it is what it is. But you see what I'm saying? But if I choose to keep it,
Joe, I gotta stop you. First off, I am an admirer of both you and Vision Preparedness hair. I
thank you, big
absolutely
bro.
love it. I love it.
Thank
Of
you.
course you
Thank
are.
you, big bro.
Of course you are. I would not expect less.
My bad,
But
Joe. Go ahead, man.
no, you good, big bro. You good. I'm trying to recompose myself because BP that got me all laughing. But it's like ultimately we have to individually make a choice for ourselves about what we're gonna do in the big things in life, education, where you're gonna live, all of these other things, all the way down to
Right,
the smallest of things, like what we're gonna do with our hair. But there's always
right.
gonna be somebody that don't like it, whether they look like us or whether they don't look like us. But at the end of the day, if I'm happy with the decision that I made, then everybody else gonna have to deal with it because I'm happy.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take it a step farther.
Okay.
Me being young and dumb in my early 20s, whatever, I decided I wanted a half carat, a real, keyword is real half carat diamond earring.
Ooh, okay.
So I pierced my ear, got, saved my nickels, dimes, and quarters, and bought me a half carat diamond earring. And my dad looked at me And my dad said, well, what made you decide to do that? And I said, because I wanted a diamond earring. He said, so now you working and you climbing the corporate ladder. He said, I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of them folks ain't gonna like you just because you got a diamond earring in. I said, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I said, so I just spent my money. What do I do now? Do you know what my dad said to me? He sat there and he said, son, let me explain something to you. He said, in corporate America, you're going to have to do two things. He said, you're going to have to play the game until you get in a position where you can change the game.
Ooh, I like that.
Right. Hey, you know what? I done heard that before, but this, and this is where I'm gonna make a distinction. And I like that analogy. I like that story because that gives us opportunity to kind of talk about some other parts of it. I don't think I know a man or woman in my age demographic who haven't had to play the part in order for one to be accepted and for two to maintain.
Right.
But here's the thing. When it comes to earrings, when it comes to tattoos, and I got tats, I got tats. Those are choices that you make versus this right here.
Right.
See, this
Correct.
right here, this right here, I can't help that. That's the way the good Lord made me.
Right.
This right here, now whether I wear it at this length or in this style, that's somewhat of a choice. But at the same time, it ain't no process. I ain't put no Jerry curl, no S curl, ain't no kit, no nothing. So I'm in Africa, so I'm using juices and berries. Now, I'm
I'm
I
gonna
was
leave
gonna
that
keep
right
going,
there on the table.
but then you chuckled, and I couldn't. I was trying, Jay. I
I'm
was
not
trying
gonna
hard.
touch it. I'm gonna leave it alone because
But
it would go off the rails real quick.
you chuckled through me, bro. I was holding tight. I was holding. I couldn't make it.
hey, little bit of coming to America humor tossed off in there. But at the same time, I think it's seen as more of an option. But when in actuality, when it comes to people who look like me with my hair type, the only actual option is to conform. Now, that's the one thing that nobody can and if somebody can make a more solid argument in the other direction, I'm more than open to hear it. But when it comes to the way that my hair grows out of my head in these little coils naturally, I'm literally left with one choice: to conform to something that will make me acceptable. And I think enough people have done that long enough. Now, when it comes to the earbobs and the tattoos and nose rings and face tattoo, all of that's one thing. But if I have the skill set, the education, the wherewithal to perform at whatever level, I should be considered accepted for whatever occupation as because I deserve to be there. There is an anchor woman in New Zealand who has tribal facial tattoos. It looked like my goatee. She's the first woman in world history to ever be a news anchor for a major corporation where her native facial tattoos, which sit below and around her bottom lip and down to her chin, and it's got markings and all of this. I think one way of saying what is presentable and what's not presentable has existed so long that everybody's exhausted with it. Now, and that's just me. Go ahead.
Yeah, I will say this, and I'm glad you brought up that perspective because that was going to be what I was going to mention next. It's sad because we live in a world where everyone is concerned about what everyone thinks about them. including the corporations that we work for.
I
Well,
don't.
because you work, well, I'm with you, VP. I'm with you. I'm the same way. But it's a shame that there's so many companies that are so concerned about their image that they let good people slip through their fingertips, because you have to reach a certain level in order for them to get to know you and see your work ethic and realize that you are qualified for the job. It's a shame that it's that way. Like, if you
That's
have
true.
certain things, you don't even get considered because stereotypes say that you wouldn't fit this role, or you wouldn't be able to do this or do that. When in actuality, you don't even know me yet. You see what I'm
Right,
saying?
right. And I'm gonna say something else to that, to add on, to take that a step further, as you would say. Now,
Yes, sir.
there were just to, and it kind of ties in with what Dan's saying. Dan said a lot of businesses consider those detrimental towards the company name and look. Very true, Dan, but I'm gonna add something else. When we, or at least when I, or most people that I converse with, what's up, GT Junior? What's going on, bro? PIA still in here, passionately intrigued arts. Now, when most people think of yesteryear, automatically, because we human, and this not to go too far into the psychology of that, let's just stick with the sociology of it. The initial thought is how grand and grandiose yesteryear was. In the era in which my grandmother and grandfather existed, every man and every woman stepped out of the house like a lady. Every
Yes,
woman.
indeed. That's
And
right.
every
That's right.
and most, that's right. And most men wore three-piece suits.
Suit and tie.
And they often carried a hat. It was a big deal for a man to
Yeah.
have a hat back then.
Yes.
So that part is true. But you know what else is true? People like me had their ass sitting at the back of the bus. People who look like me had to go to a separate water fountain. People like me had to use a back entrance. So yes, you had these virtues, and it was all good and all fine and all dandy. But at the same time, people who look like me were getting shit on in the spite of all of that virtuousness. All that virtue didn't mean a damn thing at the end of the day. So when it comes to the perception that corporations have about how an individual may look upon or reflect upon their company, do you want the best of the best, or do you not? Do you want an 18 or 20-year-old who can formulate an algorithm that end up being something like TikTok? Or do you want somebody who can do a quarter of that, but they look real nice and they fit the expectation? These are questions that people gonna have to ask themselves. That's another contributing factor to why so many people saying, I'm finna learn this on my own, I'm finna learn that on my own. Maybe they done went through the ropes enough to go work for Google for a year or 3, and then they like, peace, I'm out. And they sitting in their house, in their apartment overlooking LA, making $30,000 a month in they sweatshirt.
That's right.
Times are
Well,
changing, folks.
Times
Times are
change.
changing.
That's right.
and I'm gonna tell you, there was a time where there were certain professions that those that were not willing to conform would have. And it was because it allowed you to be your own business owner. You made your own decisions. I hire myself because I like the way I look, even if other people don't like the way that I look. But it's getting to a point now where so many people are doing their own thing for that very reason. There's so much going on, and I mean, we're talking about hair, but you start getting into all kinds of other things related to your job, where you live, what you drive, and all of these things now cause you to miss out on promotions and this, that, and the third. And people are getting tired of it. You know, I'll be my own boss because I like me, and I'm gonna keep it moving.
Yeah. And you know, and with that also, you know, it's a lot of reasons why people are pulling back from and stepping away from corporate America. Now, I believe in supporting parents to the best of my ability. I believe in supporting parents, even though I'm not a parent. I think wherever I can help, if I can be considerate, if I can let a mom with her basket with the little baby thing, they look the same to me,
Mm-hmm.
car seats and the bassinet. I'm a Southern gentleman, baby. I'm gonna stand up and let her and her child sit down and stuff like that. But when it comes to employers, I know firsthand, baby, you get treated different if you ain't got no kids. Both me and my
Mm-hmm.
wife, sometimes we come home and I'm only using this as an example to say why some people are like finding independent ventures and doing all of this, like Joe was saying, because if every holiday, every time somebody need an emergency, every time somebody need African dreaming, well, this happened and they got the kids and we were just wondering, if I'm like, man, if you don't get your ass, bruh, I got plans just like you got. I can't be that guy every time. I'll step in to help. But I'm telling those who don't know, this is why so many of the young people, it's not one specific reason that's pushing people to be entrepreneurs. There are a lot of reasons why even your most recent college graduates to people in their mid-30s are saying, I've had enough. I'm conforming to this. I'm conforming to that. I can't look like this. I can't look like that. I'm finna go do my own thing. Come hell or high water. If I gotta drive Uber for 12 hours a day and then work on what I'm trying to build for 6 hours and sleep for 4 for a year or two, damn it, I'll go do it. It's happening every day.
Mm-hmm.
That's very true, and that's what it's evolved to where we don't care that people don't like the way we look because we have the intelligence and the ability to accomplish it on our own without their help, and that's good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with that. But
Right.
I gotta run. I appreciate y'all. Again,
Yes, sir. Much love.
you keep bringing up topics that we need to talk about that don't nobody want to talk about. So for those of you in the chat, do me a favor, please smash the like button. And if you would be so appreciative, could you please share out this live stream because these are things that a lot of folks don't want to talk about, but we need to talk about it. And I appreciate you allowing me to come up, bruh, as always. And I gotta run. Yes.
Much love, big bro.
Yes, sir. Tomorrow night, 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. It's Mayhemic Thursday. We got a great topic, so make sure y'all check us out if you would please do so.
All right, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you as always.
All right, fellas. Stay safe and stay blessed. Later.
All right, you take care. Thank you. Hey, the Vision Preparedness, bro. Vision, if you still listening, man, make sure you drop your link in the in the chat when you step down. Go ahead.
There's a slight caveat to this that I wanted to mention.
Mm-hmm.
I know we kind of talked about yesteryear, and there was a time where companies valued you for your hard work. They didn't care what you looked like. If you started there in 6 months and you proved you knew how to do the job, they went to bat for you if anybody said they didn't like you, because this is a good worker. We value him. And you worked there for 30, 40 years. You retired there. You knew everybody. You knew Pookie and their mama and all of that good stuff.
Yep.
But that doesn't exist anymore because the company's so concerned about public image that you do the job 6 years right, but then you decide you want locks, and then all of a sudden you no longer fit the position. Huh?
That's crazy. And like you said, you threw in the R word. If you were a good, productive worker and a benefit to the company or corporation, bruh, you could retire from that joint, get you a watch and everything.
Yes, sir.
You a watch and everything. There are. Last time I looked, because it's been a while. Last time I looked, and I'm gonna tell you, wow, man. So I haven't looked at data like this since, or studied anything like this since back before my mom passed. So this is probably 2018. So that's like at least 5 years ago. It was less than 2% of available jobs back then that actually offered retirement. 2% of the existing jobs in the U.S. offer. Y'all, if y'all don't understand what a dramatic decline that is from even 20 years ago, I don't know what to tell you. But while you up here, bro, you got time for me to catch a little bit more content with me?
Yeah, I got another 15 minutes.
Okay.
But I was going to say real quick in conjunction to piggyback on what you said, that's why I work for local government and get pennies, because local government has retirement. You know, I could take my show on the corporate road, I could get my money and whatnot, but I much rather do this, get my retirement, and have somewhere to go and be able to sit on my front porch and watch the squirrels play. You know what I mean?
And watch them squirrel play, baby. Yes, sir. For shizzle, as the young folks say. Let me get this cracking. I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all, bro. For real.
Yes, sir.
Let's finish out this one.
Getting a new hairstyle is something that a lot of women take pride in, but one woman reached out to us after she said she showed up to work with her new do and was promptly made fun of, and she feels it was discrimination. Contact 13 investigative reporter Stephanie Zeppelin has the story. You asked us to investigate.
Sorry, I just get really emotional because I'm really happy to come to work every day, and when somebody laughs at your hairstyle, it really brings you down.
Erin Horn told us through tears about what happened earlier this month at work. For her, it was like any other day working at the Allegiant ticket counter at McCarran.
I was super happy because I wanted to share this new style that I did with my coworkers, and one of my bosses laughed at me, so it kind of like ruined my day.
These are pictures of the exact style she had, called Bantu knots. She says she and her friend spent a long time the night before making sure it looked perfect.
They said that.
Now, I can see how that might look. So what's up, 10, the educated natural? Great live last night, my sister. Oh, yeah, thank you for that. We appreciate that. Thank you for thanking us. Thank y'all. 2K, everybody. We appreciate that. Thank y'all.
Hey.
Yeah. It's been a long, hard road, baby. But, you know, when they start coming, they start coming. Thank you. Thank you, 10. I
Huge congrats on that. Huge congrats on that. When I looked last, y'all were at like 1.85, man. I'm happy for y'all.
It's been rolling, man. It's been rolling, bro. Miss Grace Gines, welcome in here. Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, now I can see how it looked like, oh, it's just silly. This is silly. This is, you know, why you in your feeling? Why you shook up over somebody messing with you about your hair? This is the way that your hair looks growing out of your head, man. And if this is in fact true, I'm hoping that the news agency will verify before they go off co-signing on this. Bantu knots. I see sisters over here with Bantu knots all the time. I see women with fades that look almost like how I used to wear, but I'm talking about short hair, beautiful women. They have a softer edge. They have a softer line around it. But my goodness, man, and we not done with this. I just had to stop it just to say that I understand how people could feel like no big deal. What's the problem? What's the issue?
And
go ahead, bro.
The other thing that I think this video where you stopped it at really exemplifies or highlights is just because you see somebody with something don't mean they did it in 5 minutes. They talk about hours and spending time to make sure this looked professional because they cared about what the company thought, only to be laughed at. Man, that's horrible.
That is, bro. And you know, I'm that uncle that used to do my niece's hair and stuff when I was little. When they was little. And the only thing I'm really good at is a part down the middle. I can do some puffs, boy. I can do some puffs. and you know, I know how to braid too. So it was one or the other. I even give them one at the coming down the back, or I give them two on each side, or they give them some little afro puff. But I know how much hair means to these to not only women and also young girls who live in constant conflict over the extent that they'll be accepted with regards to their hair. But I'm glad you said what you said because it ties into the rest of this. Go ahead, bro.
Oh yeah, no, that was it.
It was club hair, and
Okay.
that my hair is unkept.
But it's a style similar to how her mom did her hair when she was little.
I don't understand how any style that I'm wearing, that I've been wearing since I was a little girl, could be seen as club hair. Like that was just for them to use those definitions, those adjectives to describe my hair, it really, really disgusted me.
Erin works for Worldwide Flight Services, an Allegiant subcontractor. Allegiant said they hoped the company would uphold the same non-discrimination standards as they do. So we contacted Worldwide Flight Services several times, but never heard back.
Police on. Hey, sorry about that, y'all. My bad. I got
Oh, you good, big bro?
Got a phone call. Yeah. So what you think about that, Joe? What you feel about that?
I think it's interesting how this company that she worked for was a sub company of another company, and the major company said they hoped that the sub company would uphold their standards, but yet the major company wasn't available for an interview or any kind of communication. That just kind of makes you go, huh? Yeah,
You
like,
peeped
huh?
that too, huh? Yeah.
But I think it exemplifies this whole concept. Everybody's so concerned about how they look, so the major company makes that public statement for looks, but don't do anything because it's all for looks. I want to come out of this looking clean. You know what I mean?
Right. And you know what? That's an indicator of knowing that maybe your sentiments is a little bit wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's like maybe something you doing is not like is not up to par because you excusing your behavior by saying publicly what you wish your partner in company or sister company or subsidiary had taken into consideration, and like you have the power to do it. Why didn't you do it? And I have to say again, I know that it may seem so unimportant to some, but when hey, Miss Grace Gines, how you doing? Welcome in everybody.
Hey, sis.
Young Riaz still in here. Anybody who I may have missed, if y'all don't mind, the educated natural, everybody who done tipped off in here, man, y'all please do your boy a favor, share this live out if you haven't already, and hit that thumbs up. Back to this. It may seem silly, but because I'm gonna tell you, when I was first studying and learning, I didn't really understand the depth of microaggressions. I didn't really understand how profound they really are, because you take micro and you think, so it's a small, insignificant gesture or this or that. But when you get a couple hundred of them a day or a couple hundred of them within the span of an hour, it takes a toll on you individually, and it's a weight that I don't think some people really live through or even are willing to understand. When you critiqued about your natural presence, that's something that you can't, like, what do you do with that? Go ahead, bro. I know you finna say something.
Oh no, I completely agree with you. And what I was gonna say is, it may seem like a small thing. She worked on it for a couple hours. She had her friends help her. That's easy to say when it's not something that you've done. But you wash your car and let it rain, or let you have to go down a dirt road after you just spent 3 hours washing your car. Or you come home and clean the kitchen only for the kids to come through and turn it into a zoo in 5 minutes.
Right,
because
right.
you got to compare this to things that relate to you to understand how she put so much effort into looking her best with what she has and the way she was created, only to be mocked. That's rough.
Only to be mocked. Only to be mocked. And this is something that Lala put up here. Lala said, natural hair has a will of its own. It's
Yeah.
gonna do what it wants to do. I put hours in on my hair and it'll look one way at 8 a.m., other way at noon, and switch up again
Yes.
by the time I made it
Yes.
home.
Yes.
Facts. My
Yes.
my wife has a hair type, especially when we live, like in Texas. We met when we was young. I'd be like, baby, and that's why I don't get mad about what time we leave. Hell, I don't care no more. We get there late, damn it, we get there late. I used to be
Yeah.
that guy, be like, babe, because I'm an early for everything type person. If I know I gotta be there at 7, damn it, we leaving at 7:35, no later than 7:40. I'm just
Mhm.
early is on time and on time is late type mindset. I've seen my wife do her hair just like what Lala talking about. And as soon as you step out in that East Texas heat, baby, and that humidity,
Versus.
before we get to where we going, she damn near got a full fro all over again. So, right.
and, and and I think that what you're saying is so true and it makes perfect sense, but it's what gets ignored because the there's certain things that those that don't have as much melanin as we have can attempt to do with their hair and it's gonna go right back to the way that it was because that's the
Right.
way they were created. So why is it that it's such a big deal that it's rejected on one side but accepted on the other? It's crazy to me.
Yeah, because I mean, everything goes back to what you saying and what Lala and even Nick is saying. Hell, everything go back to its natural state. Even Earth. Hell, Earth
Yeah.
go back. You leave an unattended house out in the country long enough. Boy, them vines and that tall
Hmm.
grass will come up and eat that suck up like it wasn't never there.
Hmm.
Like it wasn't never. Everything wants to return to its natural state, including your hair. I got one more for you, Joe. I know you ain't got much time left. I'm gonna try to get one more in while I got you up here.
Okay.
I saw somebody.
His hair before a wrestling match. Outrage over a decision that many are calling outright racist. ABC's Adrienne Banker joins us now. And Adrienne, an investigation is now underway.
That's right, Amy. Good morning to you. A spokesperson with the New Jersey State Interscholastic Athletic Association says all groups and teams have agreed not to assign this referee to any event until further notice.
This morning, there's mounting outrage over this video taken at a New Jersey wrestling match. It shows high school junior Andrew Johnson getting his dreadlocks cut off just before competing. The referee allegedly tells Johnson he would forfeit the match if he didn't submit to the haircut. The young wrestler appears visibly upset as his locks are shorn. A teammate is seen trying to console him. Now the state's Division of Civil Rights is launching an investigation. The video has created a firestorm on social media. Many call the episode racist. Oscar-nominated director Ava DuVernay tweets, "To watch this young man's ordeal wrecked me." New Jersey's governor also weighing in, saying he was deeply disturbed.
All right.
A high school softball player says she wants to put an end.
Now, I had to kind of catch it right there. As the reason, and I've shown this one before because, like I said, I done talked about this before, right? Now, when it comes to subject matter like this, as a man or woman, can you how emasculating that is?
Exactly. And
How absolute.
exactly.
Go ahead, bro.
No, well, and the thing is, big bro, like you're taking away someone's dignity. And I
Thank you.
don't care
That
whether
part, man.
like I don't care if we the same color, if we different color. I don't care if you red because you came from Mars. There's certain
Right.
things that are you. And
Mhm.
this whole PC environment of everything has to be a certain way, you're robbing people of their dignity. Like this is a part of me. This is part of my identity. And you're
Right.
telling me that I'm an inferior human unless I remove or add this so as to meet your criteria. That's horrible.
Yeah. 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 It's and I'm glad we can have these conversations, but I gotta be blatantly honest, bro. I
Yeah.
don't think it's something that's gonna go away, man. If it ain't, how
Mm-mm.
long it take for something to be the same way before you realize? You know, I ain't telling nobody to lose hope. I mean, prepare yourself for other endeavors or something, because if it ain't changed by now, with all the and I'm not gonna sit here and deny progress. There has been some progress. There's been a lot of progress, but at the same time, things stay the same. In the year 2023, you still got kids out here being discriminated. Man, I can't imagine. For athletes, for anybody who done been an athlete before, can you imagine before you compete or before you run out on the field, your
Mm-mm.
offensive coach run over and tell you, "Hey, well, you know, African Dream and your locks look a little too long, bro. So you can't have no helmet jellyfish. We're gonna have to cut them joints." And it's the playoffs. Like that's degrading,
And
bro.
and you're so right because the clip that you just played, man, I ain't even watched the rest of it. I ain't know it existed until right now. This is my first time seeing it, but I can
Mm-hmm.
guarantee you his mind was not on wrestling. His mind was on how he was just
Oh
humiliated.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So you can't expect somebody to perform at the optimum level that they've been training for years. I think they said it was like state something. Like he done made it this far for you to completely wreck his brain before he goes out and competes because you think what he has is wrong.
Exactly. And I see somebody, I think it was Shia Sunshine. Shia Sunshine said forfeit the game. Now what you did was put that child in an unwinnable set of circumstances, because if he had said, hell no, y'all, I ain't cutting my hair for this, then
Mm-hmm.
how would that relationship have been reshaped among him and his teammates from that point moving forward? For his potential college prospects, because yeah, people do go to college for wrestling
Mm-hmm.
scholarships. So, you know, how would his potential future coaches perceive this act? Oh, you ain't a team player. You can't play. You know what I'm saying? When it's crunch time, you can't like that,
Mm-hmm.
bruh. That's it's unreal. It's unreal
It's
and
an
it's so unfair. Go ahead, bro.
it's an unwinnable circumstance, and the things that you're mentioning, and that's why I love these live streams. Like the things that you're mentioning is literally the smallest sample size of the things that goes on in the world. There are so many people that are dealing with things that are 100 times worse than what we're discussing right now, and it's not going to change because
Thank you, sir.
every,
Thank you.
oh, you're welcome, big bro. Like this is one of those situations where we strive to shed light on horrible circumstances and pray that the light don't hit no more, although we know that eventually it will. And hopefully in the process, we're all a little bit more prepared if some terrible
Uh,
situation happens to us. Because, I mean, any of us could easily be any of these people in these clips that we're watching.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's what we try to create here. African Dream and Lives and Conversations are uh, the a microcosm of humanity.
Yeah,
That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying
you
to do. A
do.
microcosm of all that exists, that happens, that you endure, you hear about, you encounter, maybe don't want to discuss, or you hear, you know, chatter and conversations and this and that. But it, I, the goal is to not be one dimensional, because everything is important. So if there can be more than one circumstance that's important at a time, well, hell, let's talk about it like adults.
Yes,
And
yes.
that's what we're striving for, man. I know you
I,
got to go soon, bro. Oh, you go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, I actually got to go now, but
Okay.
bro, you doing it. Y'all doing it. Y'all doing it. And
Thank
Please,
you, fam.
everybody, you're welcome, big bro. Everybody in the chat, share this live stream out. If you haven't gone over and watched this man's wife's channel, my big sis, Pieces of April, go show her some love. Show this family some love. They out here
Thank you, bro.
tag teaming this content creation thing and doing it. So show them some love. Share this out. Like it. Leave this running once this live stream finishes. Help them get some extra watch hours, and maybe YouTube will realize how special they are, like we already know. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. And I know April appreciates it as well. He talking about my Sweet Pea channel, Pieces of April. Bro, I thank you for taking the time to come up and spend time with us. And Motivation from the Weightlifting Geek will be on in about, 4 hours?
Yes. Yeah, for 5:30. I moved it to 5:30, so I have a little bit more time. And I started a new series. This morning motivation from the geek. I got a video that's in the lab that should be dropping in probably about 30 minutes, which isn't morning anymore, but watch it anyway and show me some love.
Done. Say less, bro. Say less.
Thank you so much, big bro. And I say thank you to everybody in the chat. I appreciate all of y'all. And man, you already know how we do. It ain't nothing but love. It's virtual love to this physical, and I get to dap you up good. You know what I mean?
Already, baby. Already. No doubt. No doubt.
Much love. Take care.
All right, man. You take care. Peace.
All right. Peace.
Motivation from the Weightlifting Geek, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you. She is Sunshine said, African Dreaming. Piece of April, y'all go on safari and take us with you. Sunshine, check this out. Our absolute very first video is baby got it. Baby got it. There she is. She already on it. So I ain't gonna keep y'all here all night. Let me drop the link again if anybody want to come up. I apologize. I meant to do that again earlier. Maybe even get a woman perspective, because I know that women deal a lot with these issues, oftentimes more so than men. A lot of times with men, it's around facial hair and beards and goatees and maybe even a mustache or something. I don't really think nobody rocking mutton chops no more. But every now and again I see a cat with some mutton chops. But let's get into this next little piece of content, this next segment. And I will, we're going to talk about it on the other side.
Rules that discriminate against black student athletes because of their hair. This comes after she says she was forced to cut her braids during a game in North Carolina.
Yeah, this is a photo of sophomore Nicole Piles playing in her team's final home game of the season in Durham last month, just before she cut the beads out of her hair. Piles says she was forced to do it or leave the game after the umpire told her coach that her hairstyle covered the number on the back of her jersey. The state's high school athletic association has sided with the umpire, saying the rules forbid the use of hair beads. Nicole Piles joins us now to share more of her story along with her father, Julius.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Let me go back to about right here. Now, y'all looking like how I'm looking. Now, I don't know the full contour of her stance in that position. If she was standing, because it looked like she in a run or in a turn or something, or she making some form of movement. But I'm seeing enough space on that blue between the top of that 6 and where them beads at, unless she's standing straight up, erect, looking at the sky. It ain't nowhere in here you can't tell that's a 6. That's me. That's just my sentiment. That's just how I feel about it. Maybe y'all see something different. But man, come on, bro. Come on. This is happening to kids all over the country and honestly all over the world. And I'm going to keep it a buck with you, because I ain't trying to pick on nobody. Baby, there are some of the better schools, some of the most expensive schools here in Africa. Damn near everybody look like how I look. Where even they saying one of the most renowned is Pretoria down in South Africa. them kids did a full on. They had a whole situation down there because it was like, nah, bruh, nah, we ain't finna live like this. But let's get back into this.
Beads. Nicole Piles joins us now to share more of her story along with her father, Julius Piles. Good morning to both of you. Thank you for joining us and to talk about this experience. Nicole, first, just take us back to this moment. You realize that you only have these two choices, either cut your hair right there. I understand, I think your teammates even had to help you, or leave your final home game of the season. I mean, how'd you feel? What was going through your mind?
Yet again, you got another baby, because I'm going to call any teenager. They might think they grown, and most of them might be on their way to being grown, but you still a baby. How you got put? Ain't it funny how it seemed to always be these big moment situations where it's either for the state title or whether it's for the last home game of your senior year or something. It's like I don't get it. I don't know if y'all peeping that too.
I was upset because I didn't feel like I needed to leave my team because they are my family, and I feel like I needed that game to keep going. I was upset and I was humiliated and I was disrespected, especially on senior night in front of family, friends.
I got to stop again, because that's the key part right there. And that's the part that I don't think a whole lot of people get when people are put in these situations, whether it's you going to get your job, keep your job, whether you're going to be kicked off the team, whether you got to have your locks cut with some old rust-ass scissors in front of hundreds of people, or whether you got to have your locks cut or your beads cut off your head in front of hundreds or maybe thousands of people at a doggone game. It's insulting. It's disrespectful. And that's all. I don't know what to say after that. I really don't. I don't know what to say after that, man. But let's go, family. Let's go.
Like older students that came back to see us play on our senior night. And it just hurt because it was like, you only want to apply this rule to me once we start getting up in a little bit of points, and like you have nothing else better to do but to use a rule to hold me down.
I'm going to stop there. And we're going to get to the last one here in a little bit. But I want to know what y'all think about that. Everybody in the chat, and I'm going to put this link up one more time. All you got if you got something to say, I can't believe ain't none of my sisters jumped up here. If you got some sentiments you want to share, you ain't got to be up here on camera. You could be laying in your bed. You could be in your kitchen making you a press ham sandwich or whatever you want to do. All I got to do is see you backstage, because I do want to know what you think and how you feel, or if this something that even matter to you, because I wonder myself, is this something folk even care about no more with everything going on in the world? Now, I can say this. If it were me, I would want somebody to care about it. Now, I'm at that phase in my life where the last time I let my hair grow out, I had me a little poof. And I had me a little Chi Ali, and I had me a little fro. And my wife locked me up, and I said I would never cut my hair no more until I got ready, if ever. Might let it fall out first before I cut it again. Because I've had so many occupations where I had to fit the part in order not only to secure, but to maintain my employment. And that's a hell of a way to live. I mean, if you really, really think about it, that's a lot to give of yourself. When other people just get to be themselves naturally, how they look, how their hair is. Oh, I see you back there, sis. You can stay up or come down. Let me know which one. You can turn your camera off and do whatever you want to do. You good? Okay. Hey, my sister. Welcome in,
Hey,
welcome in.
how
How
you
you doing,
doing?
young?
I'm good.
I'm
I'm
doing
good. I just want to say,
go.
I wish motherfucker would look at my hair now. The humidity. I flat iron. I'm natural. I've gone natural for the past 5 years. I used to be that girl. I had to have it straight. I had to have it
Uh-huh.
processed. I had to have it. So I've been natural. I've been natural for
Mm-hmm.
about 5 years, and I struggle. But I don't care. Look how I'm looking now. It's all in the ends and straight up here, and it's been like this for 2 weeks. I put my own little braids in there. They better. I wish they would say something to me. I really do. I really do. It is what it is. It is what it is. And when I take it out, I hope to have it wavy and let them say something about that. It's sickening, man. It's
It is.
disgusting. It's
It
it's
is.
irrated. It's just it's sad. It is so sad.
It is.
Uh,
It is.
but I wouldn't have played the game. That's just me. And as a child, I don't know. I don't know if I'd
No,
have
I
did that or not.
understand.
You know
No,
what
I
I'm saying?
completely understand.
The schools they need to be shut down. This is just sad, sickening. That's all. So y'all
Because
see my hair? You see my hair? You see my hair? Okay, whatever.
uh,
Whatever.
you look beautiful, young lady. Now, Pia, I want to ask you this. I want to ask you this. Do you think that um I got a couple of questions for if you got a minute or two. Are you surprised at the fact that this is still going on to the extent that it is in the day and age in which we live?
Nope, it ain't never gonna change.
I
My
don't think
belief.
so.
I mean, like
I
I
don't.
said, it's 2023. It is not never going to change. You know, we dealt with it. Our ancestors dealt with it. Our children are dealing with it. Our grandchildren. It just goes on and on and on. And it's the mindset that these other folks are bringing their children up, their generations up with that same mentality. So it's not going to stop. It's not. If it hasn't stopped in this day and age, after all these years, it's not going to stop.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And my man Dan said, African, it seems this is an all-in sport. Absolutely. I understand that part of how wrestling work, which makes it seem even more egregious, Dan, that they just picked this one as that sort of weak link or that out to because you would have they you couldn't have done this to somebody else because they would lose if that person plays the game. Yeah, yeah. I get what you're saying, bro, and I agree
What about
that it is.
it's not just sports. What about the young lady at her job? How they teased her with her hairstyle with the knots.
That
You know, so it's
that
it's
too.
it's everywhere. And then the lady to come up with the not lady whatever she was with the braids to say what she had to say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's
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 rough.
not going to stop. It's inbred. It's inbred. It's inbred, and it's generation after generation after generation. That's the mentality. And not I'm not saying all, but
Right.
it's more
Well, we
than
know what
enough.
you mean. We know what you mean. I mean, it's like I want to ask you as, hey, Global Green Book, how you doing, young lady? Long
Hello,
time
everybody.
no see. Y'all, Global Green Book, she jump in and out every now and again. She's a traveler. She be out doing her thing. Heavy over on the Instagram machine, which I ain't seen her a lot lately. But I hope you moving and shaking still, sister. Greetings to you and thank you for being in here. And yeah, that's dope. I want to read what Lala said. Then I got another question for you, Pia.
Sorry, I did.
Lala said, have to speak a language they understand. Sue, it's already illegal to discriminate in 14 states. So it is 14 states. That's what I was saying. Pia, what happened? Where you go? You better get back up here. I got another question for you. So now that's another thing that I can't help. For everybody, the question I'm responding to is the question on the screen. Now look here. I can't help but wonder and notice. To me, this seemed like some easy peasy, lemon squeezy legislation that could have been made right. And I'm gonna keep it a buck. And I know I got people in here from different uh, political
Sorry.
backgrounds and different political beliefs and all of that. I'm disappointed because for as many people who look like me support a certain party versus the other, damn it, this some first 100 days type legislation that could have been solidified, put on the books, made law. Like Lala said, it's only existing in 14 states, and what she's talking about is the Crown Act. The fact that now y'all help me with my math. You got 54.
Yeah, 14 out of states. That's
So
sickening.
right. So you got the majority of states where you can still be either denied employment, or if you obtain employment and then you walk in one day looking like this, you can lose your job. Go ahead, Pia. Go ahead.
Our youngest son went to a job interview last week. Now he took off his job. He took 10 hours of PTO to go to this job interview. And no sooner than he got in there, he said they didn't even do the interview because he has dreadlocks and they're down to his behind. And no sooner than he got in there, didn't even do the interview, they got to talking about like 3 or 4 days ago, the position is no longer available, whatever. If it was 3 or 4 days ago, why didn't y'all call me and cancel this? So that was all discrimination right there, because he's got tattoos, he's got tattoos like on his arms and dreads down to his back. And so he wasted those 10 hours of PTO that he doesn't get many hours of, and his time, and they didn't even interview him, So it's sad. And I think we should always embed in our children and in our grandchildren and all the generations coming up how beautiful they are, how handsome they are. We need to give them accolades. We need to make them feel as though that they are, regardless, natural, beautiful, handsome.
Right. Pia, have you ever seen the clip? It was viral a few years ago. It's this little dark complected baby. She looked like she might be maybe 4 or 5, and the hairdresser was doing her hair, and she was looking over into the camera. I started to put it on up here tonight, but I didn't for a lot of different reasons. Because that baby looked over in the camera, 4 or 5 years old, and started crying and said, "I'm ugly."
Oh. No, I haven't seen that. Wow.
See, I don't
Who put that in the child? Who put that into that child to think that she's ugly?
That part.
Right.
That part. And for some, and that's why I'm a firm believer in epigenetics. I believe that after the trauma that a group has went through, my group, my ethnic group has went through,
our group,
you can't tell me we don't come out the womb with certain triggers, and our group with certain triggers and traumas. For one, you being introduced to that by society, and for two, it's carried through DNA. How the hell you don't even know what you should know what ugly is at 4 or 5 years old, and more so, why do you think you ugly? Yo, beautiful. This is just as dark as she wanted to be, just as beautiful as she wanted to be, getting her hair done. But you've been, and I dislike that because I grew up with it. When we was little and we used to, well, back in my day, I'm from the play, we called it playing the dozens. And then we called it capping on each other and snapping on each other.
Right.
Man, one of the most hurtful things you could say, but one of the first, it was in every insult was complexion and skin color. And like this whole, it's sad to me that's still
within our culture.
What's
within
that?
Our culture. Within our culture.
It's in our culture.
Within our culture. Yeah.
It's in our culture. It's in our culture. And something else I'm gonna say, since I got a light-skinned sister up here with me, let's not I almost said bullshit. Since it goes both ways. Because I've seen light-skinned people have their feelings hurt and constantly be picked at and with, and I done seen people
You
who is
think you
dark as
better, you think you look good, you think you fine.
come
Absolutely.
on,
Yep,
talk to me,
absolutely.
please.
Absolutely. You got white
Is
in
that
you, what you think you are.
so? That's something
Who you
that you've
think you are.
experienced.
Oh yeah. Especially through school ages, you know. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's a
You
damn
know.
pill. Sometime, child, baby. I wonder if we're
Terrible.
gonna make it. I wonder
I'm
if
a,
we're gonna make
I'm gonna make it. I stay in my lane on my block, whatever, you know.
it. I know that right. I know
Deal
that
with it.
right. But see, I know you gonna make it, and I know
Right?
I'm gonna make it. But I
Exactly.
said the
It's
we
hard.
part was with me sometime.
Yeah. And everybody doesn't have that same mindset, you know. It really breaks people down, you know,
Yeah,
mentally. Mentally. And
yeah,
with that baby being affected like that and saying that she was ugly at 4 or whatever years old, her mindset, you know, and her growing up, she always don't think she's ugly unless someone changes that around. It's you know, it's
absolutely.
terrible. Right.
Absolutely. And especially with young girls. That's why I always let all my nieces and nephews, I'm just talking about the nieces right now. My nieces, when they was little bitty girls, you know, you come with Uncle Jay, you know, I'm taking them to movies, I'm taking them to the store with me, I'm taking them grocery shopping with me, and I'm always letting them know that they beautiful. And as they got a little older, hey, when it was time to start having those kind of conversations, uh this is how you treat it right. This is how you know if somebody treat your little boyfriend or whatever, what he say to you, what y'all talking about, what you doing, this and that. Because somebody who grows up, male or female, but especially for my females out here who have an instilled concept of low self-esteem, baby, you be looking for love in all kinds of wrong places.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then I also tell them you are beautiful, but be beautiful on the inside as well as the outside because they could grow up with that
Exactly.
sedity, with that you know, think they all that type of attitude. You know, so
Mm,
you got to come both ways. You know, you got to be beautiful on the inside as well on the outside.
that is, because you can be just as pretty as you want to be on the outside, but if you got a crappy, horrible heart
Yeah,
and
ugly.
personality, you
Yeah,
just
you ugly. You're very ugly. Yes. But I'm gonna step down. I think I said what I had to say. I'm gonna go take my
well,
braids out and see what it look like. No, I'm
all
not.
right, Pierre. All right, Pierre.
No.
Well, thank you, my sister. Thank you, thank you.
All
I
right,
thank
y'all
you.
take care.
All right, family.
Absolutely. Bye bye.
Oh, hold on, Pierre. Wait. God dog it. Y'all go check out PIA, Passionately Intrigued Arts. I wanted to ask her what she had coming up, when she was gonna be on again. Y'all make sure y'all catch her. Y'all make sure y'all go support that sister. She one of hold on. One of my favorite crafters, people from the crafting community. She's absolutely skilled, phenomenal sister, and I thank her for coming up here. So y'all make sure if y'all ain't connected with her, Pia, if you listen again now, make sure you drop that hashtag BCIAC so everybody ain't got to hunt around and chase you down, and they can just go straight to you. I got somebody backstage. Hey, let me see you real quick, bro. Wave at me or something, and then okay, you good. You turn your camera back off. I'm gonna get into one more piece of content real quick, fast, and I'm gonna bring my next panelist up here. And let me see. Let me put this back up.
Hair color. Thanks for joining us here on Queen City News. I'm Brian Blakely.
And I'm Alicia Barnes of Queen City News. Reporter Shakira Speaks spoke exclusively to the 16.
Let me go
Hairstyle
about
is
right
something
here.
that a lot of women take pride in, but one woman
Okay.
reached out to us.
Oh, okay. I think I'm done with this
Earlier
one. I'm
this
done
month
with
at
this one,
work.
family. Hold
For
on.
her, it was
I'm done with this one. I got to go over here. And matter of fact, I'm gonna bring my guest up. My panelist up. What's going on, young Riyadh?
Hey, African Jamin, how are you?
I'm doing good, bro. Welcome in, welcome in. Look here. Now I'm gonna get to you in just a minute. Let me finish. Let me get to this last segment because now we finna talk about the money side of it, which is we gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. Let me matter of fact, before I do that, young Riaz, let's get to you real quick, man. I noticed you said you always defend Muslim sisters with the headscarves and wraps and yeah, go ahead, man. Talk about that real quick.
So basically, why they wear it is for God. So they're doing it for faith purpose. They're protecting themselves. So when they wear their headscarf, they wear it for a purpose. They're not doing it because for another reason. People think no, they're doing it for themselves. Because in a way, they feel liberated. Because nowadays people are shameless in a way, right? Not everyone. Some people are so shameless. They stare at a girl though, and it makes her feel some kind of way. So when she's wearing the headscarf, it protects her because she's protecting herself in here, in her heart.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
I
well,
feel
to each their own. I guess it's because I've been with my wife so long, I ain't never looked at another woman and wondered, well, why she got her head covered up, or why this, or why that. Unless you look like you finna try to get me or something. Now, if you looking like you finna jack me, then that's a whole different ball game. But I'm happy for women. I want women to do whatever they want to do with their head. My only woman head I'll be worried about is my wife. And I signed up for the long haul, so whether her hair down her back like how it is right now, or whether she gets sick and lose it all or whatever, then hell, we'll get some wigs together or we'll rock it ball together. We'll do whatever. I signed up for the long haul, so I just don't see the interest and worried about what other women outside of my woman got on their head, around their head, tied to their head, whatever. Hell, I got other stuff to worry about. But I get your sentiment. I completely understand. The link is in the chat, y'all, for anybody else.
Yeah.
Before we tip out of here. But man, thank you for coming up, bro. I appreciate you. Stick around.
I think my other reason for defending them is because some people in a way, how some people talk to them and stuff like that, the way they talk, right? And stuff like that kind of hurts
you in
them.
the UK. You in the UK, ain't you?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead. Oh, go ahead, Brian. I mean to cut you off.
Okay, it's fine. So in a way, how some people talk to them, right? And the more and more they go through that, the more and more they'll make them feel kind of weird. So I can't stand to sit back and let that happen. So sometimes, though, if I see that happening, I will try and defend them as much as my ability, because I cannot stand to see someone else, regardless of who they are, go through something. I can't.
Of course, and good on you, man. I dig that. I understand. Matter of fact, I overstand. What's up, Drew? Welcome in, my brother. Get in here and enjoy yourself. PIA says she got some premieres coming up. Y'all make sure y'all connect with that sister and get over there and support her, please and thank you. Her link is in the chat. All you gotta do is scroll up a little bit and you can go and click on that link real quick. But now, hey, I feel you, fam. Young Riaz, I really do, and that's good because everybody needs to feel like they understood, and in certain circumstances, even defended, because so many people are quicker to misunderstand than they are to understand. Good on you for explaining that to people who may misunderstand and just reinforcing whatever these particular women choose to do in the moment, because that's their right. If you want to wear a headscarf, or if you want to wear a hijab, or whatever you choose to, whatever contour you go for, as far as your aesthetics with regards to your hair, that should be an individual choice. So, hey, Riaz, you gonna hang out with me while I run a little bit more content?
Sure, why not? Let's see. I like to learn some more, so why not? I love to hang out. Let's hang out for a bit.
All right, bet. Let's get it. I think this is the right one right here. And it should be in the right place. There we go. Let's go, y'all.
I'm a Black woman who spends hundreds of dollars on my hair every month. I've even had my own YouTube channel on hair since I was 18. Every year, I spend about $3,000 on my hair. and every year that price has gone up. So at the age of 23.
Now, this is something that I've researched before. I've actually, this ain't my first rodeo with this whole hair conversation, hair situation. 3 racks is a lot, but y'all ain't heard nothing yet. Now, what we getting into now is the economics and the business of hair, of primarily black hair. GT said, wow. Yeah, it's real like that. It's real like that. But it makes you wonder, why so much? Why so much? And I'm not finna judge none of these sisters. Luckily for me, not only can my wife do her own hair, she do my hair too. So you talk, man, I mean on the cool, like real talk, my wife probably save us a couple racks between heads every year. So I get it. Now some of it was like, damn, that y'all gonna see in a minute. But at the same time, I'm not judging. We just having a conversation about it. But that only comes from certain external pressures that, I mean, it can be defining. It can really make women feel like they're defined by their hair, because it's damn near to the point of folklore. Like, your hair got to be long. It's got to be this. It's got to look like this. It's got to be that. Welcome in, Cooking and Vibing with T. How you doing, family? Welcome in, welcome in. And it's like, that's a lot of pressure. And I think that pressure is deliberate, and it ends up on the back end resulting in economics. And let's get back to this and talk a little bit more on the other side of it.
I've spent almost $30,000 on my hair, but I'm definitely not alone on this.
On average, I probably spend anywhere from $5,000 to $6,000 on my hair products.
Before I get to the next one, thank you for being here, Cooking and Vibing with T. New to the channel. Look here. How can I'm gonna ask this. Y'all let me know. Let me know if this is average or normal for anybody in the chat. And it ain't gotta be for you. I ain't asking you for your personal bill. You ain't gotta say, yeah, I spend this amount or I spend that amount. I'm even talking about people you know. Because hair maintenance in my community is expensive. It always has been. Well, it's pretty much always been, and it will probably continue to be. But y'all just listen to some of these numbers.
About $2,000 a year on hair, which is crazy to me. $7,000 to $8,000 a year.
Like $2,000 a year on products, like seriously.
Now that's the biggest one I heard so far. 7 to 8. Bruh. That's a 2004 Camry. A year, you can start you a small auto detail. And again, I'm not judging or nothing like that. I'm not trying to, if that's how it's coming off. I'm just saying, damn. That's a lot. That's a lot of bread. Let me see what. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna go to Happy Mac, and I'm gonna get to Cooking and Vibing with T after this. Let's finish out, y'all. We talking about the economic side of it.
African American consumers dominate the entire beauty industry, contributing to about 85% of all sales in the U.S. in 2017, even though we only make up 14% of the population. Market research firm Mental.
Now, before we get into these next set of numbers, let me start with Drew. And Young Riaz, if you got something to jump in on, please feel free. Thank you for chilling. But Drew said, let's paint this topic with a broader brush. If we own major infrastructures, i.e. grocery stores, banks, hospitals, schools, etc., and natural hair care would be more accepted. I'm a father of 2 black girls. Bruh, you couldn't, man, Drew, bruh, man, I'm gonna get to that on the other side. Let me get up to, and I'm gonna try to talk about all of these comments. Cooking and Vibing with T said, fam, that's a lot. I know my sister pays $2K for her hair, up to $3 every few months. It's crazy. That and it is, bruh. It is. It is. That's like, ouch, Kibibble. Happy Max said, that's so much. Honestly, I'm judging a bit. Like those that buy LV, Louis Vuitton, LV, but can't pay their rent. But if you got it, knock yourself out. I know that's right, man. That's what, yo, this is so, let's finish this video and then we're going to talk about it some more on the other side, because it runs deep, family. It runs deeper than I think a whole lot of folks really want to acknowledge and or are willing to admit.
Values the black hair industry at $2.54 billion. But that estimate doesn't include hair accessories, wigs, weaves, extensions, electric hair care products.
Hold on a minute. How many? What? Listen to this number.
That estimate doesn't include hair accessories, wigs, weaves, extensions.
I didn't go back far enough.
$4 billion.
Baby. 2.54 billion dollars annually. I'll pause for effect. Do y'all know what you can buy? You could. I'm gonna go back to this. I know it. Yes, Nikki. I knew it was $1 billion industry, but I'm gonna go back to this. I've said it before. I'm gonna say it again. Have y'all seen Brewster's Millions? It's an old Richard Pryor movie. I think he started out having to spend $10 million in the 70s, $10 million, and didn't know what to do with it. By the time he got to it, he was so sick of money, he didn't know what to do with himself. He didn't know what to do with himself. Now, he managed to spend it all right at the 11th hour, right at the last minute. And he ended up with $300 million. I said all that to say, it's hard for people, the average human being who work a 9 to 5 or has ever worked a 9 to 5, to conceptualize what $1 billion is. That lets you into a whole nother phase and realm of society. Billions of dollars. You can't put child shit. Man, look here. And that gets spent every year. Every year. And that's gonna take me back to something Drew was talking about. Before I do that, let's finish this video out, and I'm gonna start with Drew comment and work my way up.
But that estimate doesn't include hair accessories, wigs, weaves, extensions, electric hair care products, hair care services provided in salons or by individuals, or products sold through salons. If the data included these products, the 2.54 billion figure would be much, much larger. But before we dive into the business of black hair, let's talk about the basics. There are tons of ways to categorize and break up the black hair industry. To keep it simple, let's talk about the two biggest subgroups: the business of weave and extensions, and the business of keeping up your real hair. When it comes to real black hair, there are two main types: relaxed and natural. Natural hair is essentially the way it grows out of your head.
And I'm going to stop it right there. I'm going to leave that up there, but I'm going to stop it. Oh, Young Riaz dropped down. Hey, I don't know what happened, bro. You welcome back. Whoo, y'all putting some comments in here now, but I'm going to say this. Let me turn my camera on real quick, fight. Baby. Well, what Drew said, not about his daughters, but something else. Let me go over here so I can see it. Not the one at the bottom he just put in here. And I'm going to try to mix that in with Nick and everybody else. Oh. Let me put it up on the screen. Family. As a licensed barber and know many people who have struggled own their own shops, excuse me, made endeavors, this and that. If you ever wonder why there aren't more, why it ain't more black owned, okay, all right, young Riyadh, appreciate you, bro. Why it ain't more black on? It is so hard to get locked in to that industry at a rate where it's actually profitable. Most of the people who I know who've been through it, they may get a little pinch of a discount, but in all actuality, man, it's so real out there that you almost paying retail. So you can't make a living, you can't make no money when you reselling retail. I have been in the shop working when the person that I was either interviewing for or working for got the vendor coming in and they negotiating and trying to work out prices and this and that. Baby, that's a whole industry from outside of the country that your ass locked out of. For the most part, you locked out of it. And if you do see a successful, somebody who look like this right here with a booming, a prosperous beauty supply store, baby, they got a plug. And I ain't mad at them. I don't know where they got it from or who they plug is, but damn it, you got to have one. Because everything Drew's saying is right. If we owned on this, if we owned on that, if we owned on that, and we owned on this, things would be different. But the truth of the matter is, well, hell, you don't think them folk remember Tulsa? You don't think them folk remember Redwood? You don't think them folk remember Slocum, Texas? And all the other little mini empires that was built post-Reconstruction? Before the 1900s, damn sure before the 1920s, that little 40 or 50 year window where folks who came out of chattel slavery blew up, built their own everything. Some of the reasons stuff so hard is because your ass locked out of it altogether. That has as much significance as everything else. But let me get to some of the other comments. Let me get down here. See, I ain't even, let me take this down. I'm gonna leave it up. Lala said we will own more things except for history. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I think Nikki has said something I want to touch on. That's a classic. He had to spend to earn his inheritance. Yeah, cooking and vibing with tea. Yeah. He had to spend in order to get his inheritance. I remember that's one of my favorite, straight throwback, straight classic. Nick said I need to get my butt out of here in the garden. Oh, by the way, if y'all not Nikki, before you do get out of here, I know I'm a little bit behind on the chat. I hope you still in here. Please put your hashtag BCIAC in the chat. Make sure that you connect with everybody. And so everybody can connect with you. And y'all can look for Nikki later on tonight over on Wind Down Wednesday with Hands in the Dirt and Bougie Prepper. Please and thank you. And Happy Mac says something that they talked about in the chat that's really important. It's really significant because they say that's hair care products, no weaves, wigs, and nothing, just shampoo and conditioner and moisturizer. Yeah, it's and they were saying that like how it's excluding some of the tools that you need, some of the this to that. When I first became a licensed barber, my initial setup, all the things that I started out with, that was $1,800. That was an $1,800 kit. That was an $1,800 kit. No, it was almost $1,600. It was 15 and some change. Drew said, we need to control our own. I teach my family about ownership, everything while teaching Bible study. That's something that and I'm glad you're doing that, bro, because that's something that's gonna have to get back to being about community and this and that, because the church right now, the numbers are dropping, pews is empty. And I think those types of messages will potentially get people reimagining not only spirituality but community in the same breath. But you know, some folks, you know, them 501c3s, baby, people, you know, this whole conversation been about hair and getting employment, maintaining employment. People play the game and so will churches. So will some of the churches. So I'm glad you out there doing your thizzle, bruh. I said the way the hair grows out the head, period. Period. I think she was talking about that natural hair. Yeah. Even after 1900, torture was just a century ago. Exactly. But, and you know, that's the thing, Lala, it was thriving. It was thriving. It was still, it meant so much. It meant so much, man, to know that existed when a group can be left to their own devices to either thrive or not thrive. And it looked like for the most part, people was doing good. And then along come other circumstances. I was looking at Drew. He said, bro, they remember our intentional push, fabricate, scandal, divide. Yeah. It's real out there, bro. I done got so far behind in the chat. Okay. Let's see, Lala. And I'm gonna go and drop this down. Lala said, even when, not if, we all go natural, you'll have states like Louisiana gatekeeping by requiring raiders and other natural hairstylists compete 20K programs at schools. Yeah. And I'm that, as I was saying earlier, man, Louisiana was one of those states that it was illegal. It was illegal for black women's natural hair to be adorned in public spaces. Some people can't imagine that being reality. Can't imagine that being real. Cooking and vibing with T said, I don't know how many is affording to spend $3K. Inflation is crazy, and it equates to folks working just to pay bills. That, hey, cooking and vibing with T, not only is that real, not only is that true, and to each their own. If you able-bodied and capable and willing, you can work for whatever you want to work for. But it ain't even just to pay bills. The majority just to pay bills. There's a whole bunch of folks that got that second job with that third shift, picking up that extra shift strictly for the sake of stunting 2 and 4 people who could care about you less. They could care about you less. Because as soon as that little bit of shine you think you capturing is gone, so are they. So are the daps and the nods and the oh, I see you, like all this shit is gone. It's bye-bye. Miss Cheryl Faulkner said, I'm 15 years natural and it can be costly if you use all of the real expensive stuff. Some cheaper brands are just as good. And that's another thing. And my wife ain't up here tonight. Y'all can see her on Friday Faves. But with regards to what Miss Cheryl just said, I don't want nobody to never be confused. My wife been natural for probably about 5 years now, 5 or 6 years now. She didn't do a big chop. She cut it. She styled it. She kind of did it like that. But she did cut off a whole lot. She let it grow, cut it, let it grow, cut it, let it grow, cut it. Fam, I'm going to tell you something. For those who don't know, if you think that keeping natural hair well maintained is easy and inexpensive, you crazy as hell. Now, the only reason it is for me is because I'm a dude. I got my locks. My locks will be They different from how my wife got hers. They different from what the expectations would be. I just let my shit grow. I mean, most of the time, it's like, baby, you know what I'm saying, wash it, baby, you know what I'm saying, twist me up and then braid me up, and I'm good like that for a cool old minute. Then I'll take them down, I'll rock them like this for a cool old minute, and then, you know, literally wash, rinse, repeat. But for women who gotta go to work every day, you gotta worry about how you get it prepped before you go to sleep. Like Pia said, she gonna take her hair down. She got it twisted, plaited up, whatever. She gonna take it down, see what it look like. Imagine having to do that every day and having the products to afford you the opportunity to do that every day. Excuse me, that's a whole different ball game. Cooking and Vibing said, no judgment, anyone, awareness. I speak on no, that's you good, family, and welcome in. Thank you for being here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you show love and make sure you come on back. Who we got? Chocolate Drop. Jay, I just fell in love with my hair recently, like a year ago, man. Chocolate Drop, I remember that because I used to be in there, and I'm still, you know, I'm always in the bushes, in and out, you know what I'm saying? Chocolate Drop, if y'all ain't connected to her, know Chocolate Drop, she natural. I remember sis doing her hair. She done did a couple of lives where she just, the whole live, just her in the bathroom, she getting it in, she doing her hair. And I'm proud to hear you say that, and I'm glad that you happy and comfortable with your natural vibe of what you doing and how you doing it, sis. Yeah. Let's see. Young Rhea said, my hair falls out if I use rosemary oil. Stop it from falling out. Okay. I heard something recently about rosemary oil. I personally ain't never used rosemary. My wife might have. My hair is pretty simple. I just keep my my scalp moisturized and you know, do a deep wash with some apple cider vinegar and some baking soda every so often, and do a real deep wash, and then they all fuzz up, and my baby go through them and twist them back down and lock me down, bolt me up real good, and I'm good to go. And every texture, even within the black community, every texture, it ain't no one size fits all, because every texture of hair requires different maintenance, different treatment. Like you're not gonna treat some super fine hair the same way you would treat some 4C hair. Cooking and Vibing with T said, King, I've been subscribed for a minute to y'all. Been a minute since I've been in one of your lives. Oh, well, thank you, family. Man, I appreciate that. Thank you. And that's what it is. It's a journey. Chocolate Drop said it's been a journey. Finally got it. Hey, I appreciate that, sis. I appreciate that because I'm happy that you understand the journey, y'all. This take time. It take time. It take judgment. It take some funny looks. It take some all kinds of stuff. But baby, once you get there, you know, it is what it is. It's very personal and very Oh, thank you. And thank Carlene, man. Carlene Geisha, my sister, my Caribbean, New Yorker, Texan sister. Yeah. It's all love here on Riaz. You know, you ain't got to be the only Pakistani. Hell, I might be the only Texan from time to time. Everybody welcome. As long as you chilling on it and as long as you good people, you always got a home over here at African Dreaming, baby. You come over and chill and post up and just enjoy yourself. Yes. And yeah, so as we kind of wrap up this whole convo, I just want to say this, family. I want to thank everybody who came up, Passionately Intrigued Arts. I want to thank Vision Preparedness. I want to thank Motivation from the Weightlifting Geek. Everybody who contributed to the chat. Everybody who was in the chat, like, just, you know, giving your thoughts and your perspectives and your everything, because we all got a story to tell. It don't look like nothing gonna change no time soon, but that ain't gotta stop us. Hold on, y'all. Hold on real quick. Hold on real Peace.